My dear guests, I am Mr. Rourke, your host. Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Hello, my name is Charles. I want to welcome you to my channel. This video is going to be about the truth about large age gap relationships. And some of this stuff you're really not going to like, but it's going to be the truth. I want to welcome you to my channel. And you see that they talk about large age gap relationships being commonplace here in the Philippines. They're not. They're not common. What I'm seeing is that the Filipino women have a preference for certain kind of men and they're exercising it. You know what prompted me this is because I came here on a LDR. And since I've been here going almost 3 years, and what you need to know is that I'm a recovering addict. I'm coming up on 10 years and I've been trained in addiction recovery. And what we have learned is that if drugs is the answer, what the hell is the question? Why are men and women willing to self destruct their own lives through drugs and alcohol? And what we have found is that people are damaged, and the damage was done in their childhood. Misinformation from misinformed people. And we're seeing that play out in reality. Why would a man come over here and want to establish a relationship with a young woman? The reason is there's a void in his spirit. Think about it. We come over here at 40, 50, 60. We're looking at a phase of our life. The world is telling us they don't need us anymore because of our age. We may have been lost out of a divorce. Our children are grown. And so now what the hell are we going to do with our life now? So there's a void there. And the men have to face that void. Some of them do it successfully. Some of them do not. Some of them, and then their vices get loose on them, like drinking or chasing women. And they bring all this chaos and confusion into their life and destroy it. So, what is really going on here? There's a psychological component here. You are a product of your environment. Jordan Peterson talked about self abandonment, the inability to face your own feelings, to stuff your own feelings for your mother. I told you you're not gonna like this. This is new stuff coming out about as far as how the breakdown of how men's relationships have been formed based on the relationship they had with their mother, and their mother actually conditioned them to be the man she was looking for. And so now you have these belief systems that you've been taught as a child from somebody you trusted and you think it's the right thing to do. Why would you sacrifice your life and you love yourself? A person that loves themselves is not going to do that. A person that's going to do drugs is going to do that. That's what we found. We found out our personalities weren't formed correctly. In my case, I didn't have a mother. So I did not know how to love myself until I went through recovery and therapy. And I've been looking for relationships in a woman through people-pleasing behavior and getting fucked up every step of the way. And what's really messed up is no matter who I choose, it may be a different face, but the same behavior. That's when I said, wait a minute, I really got to get this fixed. So what you're seeing over here are men and women trying to fix a void in their life. hmm It's really deep. That's why you see these men will come over here and they'll try to date one of these young girls and they'll do everything for them. They'll play the hero. We call it Captain Sabo in recovery. That woman don't need you. She don't. She's been surviving just fine without you. And now you think by improving the status of her life, she's going to love you. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. See, because her problem started when she first opened her legs to that first man. I told you, you're not going to like what I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you what this fucking recovery is. And if you think I'm kidding, all you got to do is type in NA recovery speakers on YouTube and go listen for yourself. You'll see how fucked up this really is. I could digress. So now, when you come over here, You've got to face that void. You're going to have to detox from the life you just left behind. You're actually going to have to grieve it. You're going to have to grieve a life that you have left behind and face the reality of the life you're living in. And most men have not determined, you get to this point in your life, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to fill that void in your life? You're not working. You don't have a relationship. Your children are grown. What are you going to do with your life now? You come over here into what looks like paradise and you see all these beautiful women, and so you decide, well, fine, I'll get in another relationship. But here's something I've seen and I've learned. There are large age gap relationships. They're right here in Lapu Lapu in my subdivision. I talk to them guys. Here's what I'm seeing. Those guys, 50 through 70. Okay? The women that picked up with them are average and they've been through some hard life as a child and they want some security in their life. They're not the super beautiful ones that you see. They're not those. To be perfectly honest, they're just really nice looking women, period. But then when I talk to those men, some of them are actually in what is could be considered emotionally abusive relationships. There's the oldest one. These are on my channel. You ain't got to take my word for it. Go look at some of my earlier videos, like Jeff. Jeff is 77 years old. He got a 7-year-old daughter. His wife had him when he was 40. He's been over here 10 years, and she runs the house. He gives her his money, and he gets an allowance. She takes care of him with his money, but she also is a resource for her family. They got together. He was introduced to her, and now they have 4 townhouses that they rent out through Airbnb. It works. It does work. But realize it's a compromise. What can you deal with? Are you going to be able to get someone that's not emotionally abusive, or can you deal with the emotional abuse? Because what I'm seeing is, and realize, you're not going to like this, these are white guys. They're not black ones. My personal assistant told me there are 2 things. Number one, large age gap relationships, they do have a cutoff point. It's like if it gets too large, all you have is an emotional financial transaction. Second one is you don't see a lot of African American relationships here, at least not in the city. They're rare. There are African Americans here, but we're by ourselves. And if you look on Filipino P, she interviewed a white guy who was a mailman. He said he don't have no girlfriend. Once we disconnect from that life, we ain't interested in going back because we saw how messed up it is. Think about this. If you hook up with a Filipino woman and she has a child, what happened to the relationship between her and that man? Because here it is, she decided to sleep with a man and have a child, and they're not together. What went wrong? She does not come out of that relationship unharmed. She comes out emotionally scarred. Here's another thing that I done picked up on. You're talking about LDRs and why they work. These women are working out of survival mode. But here's something else I noticed. They talk about family. Here it is. They have this huge family, and the only way to get successful is you got to have an education and you got to go to work off of this island. They call them OFWs. Now, the question is, why is that woman not an OFW? If that is the way to financial freedom, and you got somebody that's gotten off this island, has the financial ability to help you get a passport so that you can become an OFW somewhere. A lot of them didn't do it. And it's like, and you call this family? I don't call it family, y'all. I don't. I don't. If my brother was in trouble in South Carolina, I went down there and I got him and sent him the money and said, come on home and get your life together. But didn't make the sense to me because I was dating a Filipina with a child. It's like you got all these family members in Canada and California, nice houses and jobs and stuff. And you mean to tell me not one of them? Because listen, she started working, she was 16. I met her at 32. She had a child when she was 27. And you mean to tell me nobody in your family would help you get a passport and become an OFW? There's something wrong. There's something wrong. These are things that they don't tell you. They don't tell you that some of these Filipinos do not want to be with African American men. And they don't tell you that these LDRs, there's a cutoff point where they think that the age gap is too big. Go back and look at my video. She said it on one of my videos. I'm going to bring her back in here again because I don't like to see people get hurt. I don't like to see that, and I don't like people lying. Because, see, a liar is just a thief trying to steal your life. And that's what's going on over here. And I don't care if you don't like it. My name is Charles. Click like and click share. I have a coaching service to help you deal with this stuff. Have a nice day.